Hello everybody, and welcome to a first entry of a series that will change the way that you see every room that you walk into. We're breaking down the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, but we're doing it differently. Most people read these laws and think they're for villains or kings in history books. I'm here to show you that these laws are active in your office, your social circle, and your daily life right now. I'm stripping away the academic fluff and the old stories to give you the raw, usable truth. You don't need to study these books for years because I'm doing all the heavy lifting for you. I'm translating these laws into plain English so you can spot the traps and make your own moves much clearer. Power is a game that is being played whether you choose to participate or not. It's better to know the rules than to be the one who gets blindsided by a game that you didn't realise was happening. Today, we start at the beginning with Law 1. Never outshine the master. When people hear the word power, they often picture kings, CEOs, and maybe even villains in films. But most power is quieter than that. It's the power of a manager who can promote you or freeze you out. It's the power of a team leader who controls information. It is the power of a mentor whose opinion shapes the room. It is the power of a parent, a coach, a gatekeeper, or even a friend group where one person sets the social weather. And Robert Greene starts his whole framework with a law that sounds harsh, but is actually very human. Law 1 is never outshine the master. Now let me translate this into plain, usable English. It means do not make the person above you feel embarrassed, threatened, or replaceable. Because when somebody feels insecure, they don't become fair, they become protective. And protective people do not always play clean. This law is not telling you to be small, it's telling you to be strategic about how your talent lands. Here's the key idea, and I want you to really hear this. You can be brilliant and still lose if your brilliance humiliates the wrong person. That's the whole law. And most people break it by accident. They think, if I work hard, if I perform, if I show value, surely I will rise. Now, sometimes that is true, but in many real environments, especially where ego is involved, performance is not enough. You must also manage your status. So what does outshining look like in real life? It's not always arrogance. Sometimes it's innocence. It looks like correcting your boss in front of everyone. It looks like making a presentation that is so good that the room starts praising you and not them. It looks like solving a problem that they failed to solve and doing it with flair. It looks like getting laughs, attention, and admiration in a room where they are used to being the centre. Even if you mean no harm, the emotional message can land as, look, I'm better than you. And here's the brutal part. People can forgive a mistake, but many people do not forgive humiliation. Now let me give you the famous story that sits behind the law, because it makes the point unforgettable. A powerful French minister named Nicolas Fouquet built a stunning castle called Velu. He held a lavish celebration in 1661 to honour the king, Louis at the time. The event was spectacular. It included theatre, fine dining, fireworks, and a level of luxury that made people gasp. But here's the twist. Fouquet was trying to impress the king. Instead, he made the king feel outshined. And shortly after that famous night, Fouquet was arrested and his life was essentially finished. Now you might say, that's history, that's royal drama, which is true, but the psychology is not old, it's current. Because the same thing happens in offices, teams, and communities every day, just with smaller weapons. Instead of prison, it becomes you stop getting invited. You stop getting information. Your ideas get ignored. Your work gets criticised harder than everybody else's. Your mistakes get magnified. Your strengths get reframed as attitude or ego. So what's the trick? Well, the mechanism is simple. Ego plus hierarchy creates sensitivity. When someone is above you, they often feel pressure to stay above you. Their identity can get tied to their position. So when you shine too brightly, you can trigger a fear that they might not even admit to themselves. A fear of being replaced, a fear of looking foolish, a fear of losing control of the room. And once that fear is triggered, they stop seeing you as an asset. They start seeing you as a problem to manage. Okay, let's make this practical. Picture a meeting. Your manager says something slightly wrong. So you jump in and correct them. You do it confidently and the room laughs. Somebody says, "Good point." Now the room's attention shifts to you. You think you've just helped, but your manager feels exposed. And from that day on, they don't trust you. They do not back you. They do not develop you. They quietly block you instead. That's law 1 in real life. So how do you apply this law without becoming fake, you might ask? Here's a clear way to do it. You keep your competence, you keep your standards, but you control the framing. I will give you 3 moves that you can use right now. The first move is credit placement. When something goes well, you place credit in a way that makes the person above you feel and look good. You can say, "Your direction helped me see the angle," or "The way you framed the priority made the solution obvious." Or you could even say, "You called the right problem early and that's why this landed." Can you see what you're doing? You're attaching your success to their leadership. The second move is public support and private correction. If you have to challenge them, do it one-to-one. In public, protect their status. In private, protect the outcome. This is not a weakness, this is professional survival. And it works because most people can handle being wrong. They just can't handle being wrong in front of an audience. Third move. Ask, do not announce. Instead of saying, "That will not work," try, "Can I test a version of this and show you what I find?" Or, Do you want a second opinion or a second option in case this runs into a wall? Same intelligence, same backbone, but it lands as support, not as a threat. Now I want to add a warning, because this law can be misused. Do not turn it into constant flattery. If you overdo it, you look slippery, and people sense manipulation. So keep it specific, grounded and brief. Praise real decisions. Praise real contributions. Then move on. Law 1 is not be a performer. Law 1 is reduce threat. Now let's talk about a defense, because this does matter. Sometimes you are the boss. Sometimes you are the one in charge. If you lead people, Law 1 gives you a mirror. If you feel threatened by someone talented, you have two paths in front of you. You can crush them and lose a future ally, or you can secure their loyalty by giving them real ownership. Because strong leaders do not fear strong people. They aim strong people like a laser. And if you are the one who is under and you can feel jealousy in the air, here's the defense strategy. Keep your work visible in a calm way. Build relationships across the organisation so one person cannot rewrite your whole story. And choose environments where competence is rewarded, not punished. Now, I'll close with a takeaway, because this is the line that makes the law usable. Do not dim your light. Control where it points. Be excellent. But package excellence so the person above you feels safe, supported and strengthened. Because when they feel secure, they open doors. And when they feel outshined, they close them. This, my friends, is Law 1. Subscribe, learn and grow with me as we master the laws that govern the world. You take care. Stay blessed. This is the way. Namaste.